Hey everybody, Felix Staffelbaker here. I wanted to make a video about the macro environment and some of the biggest people in the macro space that are not only taking a serious look at Bitcoin, but are also heavily investing in Bitcoin, and a couple of them quite comically. So I'll get to that in a minute, but we've got people that are managing the most money in the world, such as hedge funds. I made a video about VC and hedge funds that were invested either into Block 1 by their shares or invested through EOS, the asset. So I encourage people to go back and watch that video, because that was over a year ago and it still is very relevant, and a lot of those people are still involved to the capacity that they were. So we're just seeing some gigantic names in the markets and in finance come out in favor of Bitcoin, especially since the whole pandemic crisis. And I think what really got all of them to really perk their ears up was the fact that just willy-nilly, based off of everything that was going on, the Federal Reserve printed like over $3 trillion just in March of 2020, and there's been so many more since then, that some that we don't even know about and may never know about. But there's just the biggest people in finance, like I was saying, like Paul Tudor Jones now getting involved in Bitcoin and managing the level of money that his firm does. That those are going to send ripples and shockwaves like tsunamis through the markets once everything starts to get priced in. And it's not just people like him who have been maybe investing at a cheaper price but publicly haven't been saying it, but there's been people who have been publicly saying it for quite a while now. Some people like Dan Moorhead, he has been one of the early adopters of Bitcoin, and he is a macro guy as well. And we see the same trend kind of with all of them, where they step back and they look at the global debt, and then they look at what central banks around the world are doing to either mitigate or manage or try to reverse that debt. And the policies that they've taken are the most reckless and the most egregious that you could possibly imagine, to the point of central banks are financial terrorists committing financial terrorism. And in my opinion, until interest rates go up, they just make it so cheap for financial terrorism to be committed that it'll just be committed until it's stopped at will. It'll just be rife with fraud. So there's people like Dan Moorhead who've been investing for the long haul. Basically, they've been investing for a long time, and they see that this is the only way to counter that central bank reckless policy, is through hard money, and that's what Bitcoin provides. Also, Raoul Pal, and he's the funny guy, he was saying that he was irresponsibly long. And also people who aren't necessarily into finances but are in the larger financial playing space, like Barry Diller, he's even come out and said that the stock market is a speculation. So I think that people not taking this seriously and not looking at this are going to be greatly mistaken whenever we switch to a new system and they're missing out. So I just wanted to put that out there. Talk to you next time. Staffelbaker out.